Morning, guys. Dr. Kori here, and it's Friday. We are headed into the weekend. Ooh, big surprise, right? But I wanted to take just a brief opportunity to ask you guys to try something on for size. You know, with the weekend being here, I think a lot of people approach their days with a little bit of different energy. You know, they're like, oh, it's the weekend. I get to do these things that I haven't done throughout the week. Things that actually lift me up and give me some level of enthusiasm and energy. Well, I want to challenge you to shift a little bit, shift that perspective. And I'm not telling you not to go into the weekends with that. I'm asking you to go into every day with that, every moment with that. Why wouldn't we? If we have the capacity to approach our lives with a sense of joy and awe and wonder, why aren't we taking advantage of that? Because that power is ours. It really is. To go into each second, each minute, each hour, each day with an appreciation for this life, for the opportunity to be and think and feel and interact with some pretty amazing people. Let's do that. You know, I've been reading a lot of Stoicism. And, you know, one of my kind of favorite Stoic poets is Rumi. And one of my favorite quotes from Rumi is, "Live your questions." And, you know, one of the four virtues that is connected with Stoicism, I think a lot of people have a misconception about what Stoic means, but one of the four virtues is wisdom. And what wisdom means is knowledge of life. But that doesn't mean just gathering the facts and researching and, you know, learning as much as you can. It's actually the application of that. So as we're asking questions and as we're growing, because we are collecting information in our lives, we are deciding and reflecting upon what about that information we want to apply and live. It's one thing to be smart. It's another thing to embody wisdom. You know, another virtue of Stoicism is justice. And what that means is integrity. A lot of you out there are pursuing a big goal, a big dream, right? You have an aspiration that you're working towards. And one of the best things you can do in times of struggle, and we know we're going to struggle, we can expect we're going to encounter hardship and obstacles in our lives. In those moments, we can ask ourselves, you know, if my inner Damon, and I'll tell you what that means, were to show up right now, how would he or she approach this situation? Eudaimonia, if you haven't heard that term, is well-being, living well. You know, I hear that term a lot because it's a psychological term, but it came from Stoic times. And when you break it down, it has the word daemon in it, and daemon is our inner guide. So if my inner Damon were to show up in this situation right now, how would he or she approach it? How would he or she think? How would he or she act? Okay, I wrote a blog called something like finding your inner, it was your imaginary friend. That's what it was. If you search on our blog on the website, thedietdoc.com, you'll find it. Just search imaginary friend. We can look at our inner Damon as our imaginary friend, that little person inside a big person, actually, because it represents all of our values, all of our principles, our morals, and the way in which we want to live. That big person inside who, if we were actually to put our attention there and allow that person to show up in every moment, imagine what our lives would be like. Imagine what the lives of the people around us would be like. This is big stuff, guys. So we have wisdom and we have justice, which is integrity. The other two principles of Stoicism are fortitude. I love that word because it's got such depth, right? Fortitude is courage. Courage, I like to look at as endurance of the soul. Okay? Lots of people will say, I'm not courageous. Well, break that word down. You know, we attach meaning to every word that comes into our lives, but we have to pay attention to what that meaning is and the energy that's around it. Break it down. It's just endurance of the soul. And if my inner Damon were given the opportunity to show up right now, what would he or she do? How would he or she act in a courageous way? And, you know, the fourth principle of Stoicism is temperance. This is really a soft term for me. Like, it has a sense of peace attached to it, which I love. But, you know, we temper our desires. You know, we temper impulsivity in order to move forward with almost a sense of grace, right? And gratitude. Temperance is self-control. It's self-management, okay? It has a bit of self-reliance. It's the ability to say, okay, you know, while I may want this now, or while this may not be ideal and I don't necessarily enjoy feeling this way, I know the next best step forward. So guys, move into the weekends with wisdom. Move into every moment with justice, okay? With a sense of integrity. Move into, you know, the next 3 hours of your day, break it down with courage and fortitude. And let's structure our lives in a way that they're built upon temperance. Enjoy your weekends, guys.